Organomation has been a leading provider of laboratory evaporation solutions for over 60 years. Our goal is to create simple and easy-to-use instruments for analytical or environmental labs. Our instruments require minimal installation before use. This video will walk you through the steps of installing your S-EVAP Solvent Evaporator. First, carefully check all the items you receive for damage which may have occurred in transit. Make sure to keep all cartons and packaging materials until the instrument has been assembled and tested. Contact Organomation immediately if any damage or discrepancies are found. Put the bath on a stable surface such as a lab bench or fume hood. Make sure the power switch is turned off and the heat switch is in the middle position. Plug in the electrical cord. Attach the flow meter and bracket assembly onto the control box using the 2 screws provided. Make sure the scale is facing forward. If you purchase a pressure regulator, which is highly recommended with S-EVAP units, attach it to the back of the flow meter. Then connect the water supply tubes to the regulator. Otherwise, connect one end of the water supply tube to the barb on the back of the flow meter. The other end can be placed in either a drain or a chiller. Place the rod, tapered side down, into the center hole of the bath. Place the spring on the rod. Then, take the cover disc assembly and slide it onto the instrument. You may need to loosen the set screws on the cover disc to do this. Slide the disc upwards about 9 inches. Secure in place with the set screws and big hex driver provided. Put the instrument on the rod located inside the bath. Connect one end of the stainless steel water supply tube to the top of the unit. Connect the other end to the top of the flow meter. Then, connect one end of the clear drain tube to the barb at the top of the unit. The other end will be connected to a cold water source. Once everything is positioned correctly, tighten the nuts on the water supply tube with a wrench. Put one glass condenser into the plate assembly at the top of the instrument. Turn it slightly and let hang for the next steps. Loosen the set screws on the bottom cover disc until it is able to rotate. Assemble a KD flask and Snyder column together. Place it into the bottom cover disc and connect to the condenser. This will line up the cover disc and condenser holder. Push the center tube down 1/4 inch against the bottom spring. Retighten the cover disc set screws. When the center tube is released, the cover disc will raise slightly. This will allow the instrument to freely rotate when filled with glassware. Remove all the glassware from the instrument. Fill the bath with approximately 7 inches of water. Attach the white water tubes onto the barbs on the condenser. Install the condensers in sequence around the condenser plate assembly. Connect all the water tubes to the manifold. Each condenser will have one tube connected to the upper and lower manifold. For optimal position, connect each water tube to the fitting that is 3 spaces to the left of the closest fitting. Connect the flasks to the condenser using the green joint clips provided. Connect the concentrator tube to the bottom of the KD flask using the springs provided or the optional joint clips. It is convenient to use the optional KD rack here if you purchased it. Place the Snyder column on each flask. Install the KD assembly on the cover disc. Turn on the water source to fill the condensers. Water pressure should be set between 35 and 45 psi. Rotate the unit and check all condensers for leaks. If there are no leaks, the S-EVAP unit is officially installed and ready for use. If you are unfamiliar with the use of the S-EVAP system, or you are working with a new procedure, we recommend doing a trial run of blank samples to determine the best operating conditions. Now that the unit is fully assembled, don't forget to fill out the warranty registration form. We ask that you return your completed warranty form within 10 days of receiving your instrument. If you require more assistance throughout the installation process, reach out to sales@organomation.com or speak to one of Organomation's sales technicians at 978-838-7300.